Hello, everyone. It's Cahul here. Quick, mildly angry review. Oh, it's been a couple weeks since you had one of these, but I'm back. Want to review the new Netflix series, The Gentleman, by Guy Ritchie. The same name as his movie, The Gentleman, which came out a few years ago, which I can do a quick review of. It was kind of a messy, incoherent movie. Not a big fan of it. Just didn't really click with me. Had some good performances, but not great. The series has, besides being about, I guess, drug dealers, has essentially nothing to do with the movie, as far as I can tell. Um, I thought that The Gentleman, the series, the basic premise, I'll give you that, and I'll give you my opinion. Um, this guy, he is the second son of the Duke of some English country estate thing. Um, the father dies and gives the money and the estate and the house and the Duke title to the second son instead of the first son, because the first son's a fuck up. And it turns out the first son is owes a bunch of money to these Coke people, or these Russian, I don't know, some fucking Eastern Europeans. And then it turns out that the father, unbeknownst to everyone, was actually allowing other drug dealers to run a weed farm on his property, and give him a cut of the profits. Now, I will say this: the premise for the series is interesting enough. It's okay, and I would say that the show overall was fairly well produced and made, and I enjoyed it. I thought the cast was the acting was pretty good. I thought the main lady in the show was quite good. I enjoyed her performance. The show was pretty fun. I'm not the hugest fan of everything Guy Ritchie does. I'm not. I'm just considering to see his new movie, The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, which is just. I mean, come on. Like, how often are you gonna put the word gentleman in your fucking movie title things or show titles? It's the same thing. It's like the gentleman, the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. Like, we get it. You're English. Whoa, buddy. Um, and I think the general depiction of the British aristocracy as drug addicted losers is quite accurate. um, and I don't know. It's an interesting enough concept, and it's pretty good show. It's a pretty good show. I think it's maybe worth a download from some websites that you could probably find. I don't know if you, I guess if you have Netflix, if you're watching on your parents' Netflix, it's worth going out of your way to give it a watch. It's one of the better shows that they've done. Um, I've not seen a ton of Guy Ritchie's work, but I would say there's some good performances. There's some fun stuff. There's also some typical like modernist crap that's in all like modern shows and movies that plagues this as well. But you can't win everything. Nothing's perfect. And if you can just get over it for a little bit, there's a pretty decent show here. It's compelling. You want to see what's happening. I will say the ending's kind of stupid. I don't particularly care for the way the ending plays out. In the end, the whole plot of the show is the guy wants to get the drug dealers who are growing the weed farm on his land. He wants to remove them from his land peacefully, so he doesn't have to deal with them on his land anymore. And by the end of the show, he decides instead to become like the head, like the co-head of the drug empire with the one female, the female lead, who's the daughter of the drug empire lord overlord who's in prison, and they decide to work together. And I mean, I get it. It's kind of like an edgy thing, but I the guy seems like it kind of comes out of nowhere, that decision. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. It's kind of like the whole point of the show is that he doesn't want to deal with them, and it's really dangerous, and getting involved with drug dealers is bad and immoral. But then by the end, it's like, well, I'm gonna do it because it's just my calling, I guess, because I'm so good at it. And it's like, that's stupid. That's kind of stupid. Not a big fan of that ending, but most of the show was pretty good. Again, I very much so like the actors. I think the actors for all the characters were really good. Good performances. Very well shot, good pacing. Each episode kind of flows with each other. Um, and yeah, fun show. Give it a watch. Um, Giving it a 7 out of 10. More like a 3 out of 5. If that, I don't know. I don't know if I want to give it a. I don't know, maybe 3 out, which I guess is 6 out of 10, but 3 out of 5 feels a little bit different than a 6 because I guess it's 3.5. I don't know. It's okay, okay enough show. Just a weird ending. I was confused by the ending. Like it came the switch between I want to not have drug dealers on my land to I want to run the drug empire happened very quickly, and it didn't make a lot of coherent sense. But I guess they got to set up a second season where he's running the drug. It was a lot more interesting. The show premise of him trying to begrudgingly work with these drug dealers, but with the overall goal of eventually removing them from his land, was a better and more interesting setup for a show that will inevitably be the second season, which I imagine will just be him running the drug empire, which doesn't sound as interesting. I mean, there's plenty of shows about running a drug empire, but like that dichotomy of like I don't want to do this, but I must. How do I get out of being in partnership with a drug lord? Is while keeping the peace and not letting and making sure he's happy and not letting anyone die, like not letting anyone die, go to jail. Interesting dynamic. I was kind of hoping for a more interesting setup for the second season, but we'll see. It might just be a one and done anyway, so who fucking cares? But yeah, that's my review. Give it a watch if you want. I hope everyone has been enjoying the Return of the Big Baby podcast. I'll have a new episode out on Monday. And we've got 2 more recorded, and we're going to be recording another episode soon. I know everyone wanted us to go live. People were complaining it's not live. But it's not so much that we wouldn't go live. It's the problem is that our schedules, we want to do a show regularly. We wanted to do it something where we put one out every week. And our schedules just don't line up enough every week. To do that, to stream we've been recording pretty late. It's hard to stream at what would be a reasonable, normal time for what people do live streams. So yeah, we're doing recordings. It just is the right. I mean, when we did the Big Baby podcast, there'd be a couple weeks we would get him one and done, but then it'd be like the week after, it's like, oh no, we don't have time, our schedules conflict. Where it's much easier to like say, hey, here's and we're not going to always be available that same night of week we're supposed to stream. So we're doing recordings. We might end up putting them on like a podcast site too, like the audio only, see if that works out. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun, excited. We have a special co-host for the next set of episodes we recorded, so I'll be excited for you to see that. And we're going to have another co-host. We're actually interviewing a guest. We actually had a filmmaker contact us to review his film with him. So we'll be discussing this guy's film. That episode will be a couple weeks away because we still got to record that and we have to get through the ones we've got. But yeah, excited. And I might excited stuff, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.